We got to talk about this Kevin Hart backlash, right? So Kevin Hart, he had his roast on Netflix, and it didn't go the way we all thought it was going to go. First of all, y'all know Kevin Hart is super mega Hollywooded out. This ain't the Kevin Hart from I forget the movie, Paper Soldiers. This ain't Paper Soldiers Kevin Hart. He's long removed from the hood, from the ghetto. So it wasn't going to be that type of roast. It was Netflix. It was Kevin Hart production, his whole image and his whole empire he built behind that. So it had to appeal to all races, all crowds, all walks of life. And that's what they tried to do. The problem is black people, black culture became the butt of the jokes all night. And as someone who was quote unquote not hosting the roast, but hosting the roast because the roast is about him, a lot of people felt like he should have spoke up for niggas. But Kevin Hart's a comedian, and he sees things through a different lens than you and I. Kevin Hart, millionaire, damn near billionaire. He's in rooms with all type of different walks of life. He's living a different life. He's touched a different level of success that most will never touch in life. So things that the average Joe is offended by, he may not be offended by because he's too rich and wealthy and famous and successful to care. You know, when you in the hood, you mad about everything. Everything tick you off. If you ever been out of the hood, like you came from the hood and they got successful, you go back to the hood and the homies that's still there mad about shit. You like, nigga, why are you even mad about this shit? This shit don't even matter, nigga. We just came from Miami, Collins, with bad bitches. We was just in the DR. We was just in Colombia. We was just in Thailand. Your whole frame of mind changes as you experience different levels of success, different walks of life. He's experienced that shit times a trillion. So what offends you may not offend him. Now we got that out the way. The joke that, who had said the joke? The damn Tony Hitchcliffe says some George Floyd is probably looking up at us, laughing to the point where he can't breathe. Something like that. And people was like, what you mean looking up at us? So you saying he's down there in hell? And then he made the can't breathe joke. Now, people were saying he crossed the line, but a lot of deceased people caught strays and jokes that night, including Kevin Hart's mother, who I believe is deceased. And his father caught jokes too. I don't know if his father is deceased, but I think his mother is. And he had to eat those jokes and laugh at them. And his name, his business, everything is on the line. He can't just have a nigga moment and crash out. But I will say, he for sure should have fired some jokes back at they people. Because Charlie Kirk caught a joke too. And if you're going to laugh at the Charlie Kirk joke, you got to laugh at the George Floyd joke. I mean, you don't have to, but what's good for the geese, good for the gander. You can't cry about a George Floyd joke, but then be like, oh yeah, Charlie Kirk joke, ha, ha, ha. Now, people saying the whole event seemed like one big humiliation ritual. You had The Rock up there doing some gay shit. It just was weird. You had Cat Williams come, surprisingly, and he just told the truth. He just flat out told the truth, and everybody laughed like he was joking, but the nigga wasn't joking. He said, I'm the only one in here with a soul. And he said exactly how he felt about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart pieced it up with him. I felt he had to do that. He couldn't just leave it up in the air and let Cat walk off. He had to steal the moment back. But overall, why don't they ever make those type of jokes that they made about black people, black culture? Why they never make them about the tiny hats and the tiny hat culture? Why is every freedom of speech joke or freedom of speech language at the detriment of black people and the black culture? Why is racism to black people the pipeline of freedom of speech? That needs to be studied. For some reason, every culture thinks, oh, we're going to exercise our freedom of speech, so we're going to say the N-word. Where did this trend come from? I know why they do it. It's rage bait, and it makes money. Black people are the easiest people to offend because black people have went through the most turmoil in history, period. We've been through the most turmoil. I don't give a fuck. You want to say every other race was enslaved? Not like niggas, period. Show me a COINTELPRO for any of these other races that you want to say, oh, we was enslaved for a short amount of time too. Show me a COINTELPRO where the CIA and the government designates billions of dollars to watch your community and to put a roadblock in every piece of progress that your community does. Show me where the United States government dropped a bomb in the middle of anybody else's neighborhoods that was prominent outside of black people. You're not going to find that. So shut the fuck up with the struggle Olympics. This ain't that. We know black people the most hated and the most loved and revered on the planet. That is what it is. Now, Kevin Hart definitely, in my opinion, should have stood up for niggas, but he came out and he spoke on this on the Breakfast Club, which he's catching a lot of backlash for this too. So I'm going to play the clip and y'all decide on how y'all feel about what Kevin Hart said. Is he right? Is he wrong? Let's walk it down. He had a couple clips from this too. Let me get it right. Let's see what Kev talking about here. He said, I spoke with the family. Not only did I speak with the family, I was there for the family when the tragedy actually happened. So when it counted, when the game was on 4th and inches, I was there. When a lot of people who complaining about the joke wasn't. Not only that, I'm pretty sure he called them behind the scenes and let them know, man, it's Hollywood. This is how this works. It's a roast. Everybody could get it. My dad, mom got it. Charlie Kirk got it. Everybody could get it. That is what it is. Cheryl Underwood, her dead husband got it. Everybody got it. Called Steven Jackson, told him the same thing. Man, you know how this go, man. The checks, the sponsors, this, it is what it is. You know I don't fuck with that shit. Man, you know how niggas do, bro. He's code switching. Since when do y'all get mad at people for code switching? I mean, I know we get mad for it, for people for doing that, but you do it. You go to work, you stomach all type of racial transgressions and microaggressions and disrespect that you wouldn't stomach on the street, but you do it for the sake of that job and that paycheck. Your boss say all type of disrespectful shit that I know if somebody's told you on the street, you'll slap the shit out of them. But for the sake of your job, you sit there, put on a smile, put on your best professional, jolly voice, and you code switch. So Kev is on the highest platform there is, Netflix, in the biggest moment, a roast, which you got to be damn near a legend to even get a roast, and he's code switching. We all know behind the scenes he probably don't fuck with this shit, but we all know this isn't black owned. We know who own this shit. It's the same people as the people that's up there telling them fucking jokes about George Floyd and about Cheryl Underwood's husband and everybody else. When all the black people said, man, this was a verbal comedic lynching of black culture and blah, blah, blah. Well, people, get a black Netflix going and let's throw our own people roast. Why do we sit back and wait on them to give us awards? Same with the Grammys. Y'all cry about the Grammys, but then we don't throw nothing for ourselves. So beggars can't be choosers. You cannot go to their award shows, everything that they put together, and then get mad about how they put it together. What you should do, or what we should do, if we that pissed off about it, throw our own roast. The same way we had Comic View, the same way we had Def Comedy Jam before we sold BET, and now BET has nothing to do with black people and they align with MAGA more than niggas. We should start throwing our own shit again. So was the joke distasteful? It depends on your perspective. Do you like dark humor or do you not? Are dead people off limits or are they not? Because it's celebrities who've been dead for a long time, and they the butt of a lot of jokes that the same people who are offended by the George Floyd joke laughed at that joke or will laugh at those jokes. Why? Because they've been dead a while, and you know, as long as I said it's a time limit. Let me just say that. I said it's a time limit. It's a time span for a person to be dead, for the joke to be basically a green light to tell. If somebody just died, it's like, oh man, too soon. The wound, The wound's still hitting. The George Floyd shit is still hitting right now. Charlie Kirk just died. So I know they people was offended. We didn't give a fuck because we didn't fuck with Charlie Kirk. At least most of us didn't. So it was fuck him anyway. Niggas didn't care. But that George Floyd joke, y'all got to take the power back from that, bro. That is their ace in the hole. They think George Floyd represents the entire black race. Every single time they want to make a black person mad, you notice they go to two things, the N-word and George Floyd. How much power over you are you going to give these people? You can't get me mad with a George Floyd joke. Now, if you say the N-word in front of me, I'm going across your shit, period. Because it's not even so much as the word, it's the disrespect intended behind it. But you saying some George Floyd shit, bro, I don't even know George Floyd. Niggas die every day. I mean, prayers up to his family, condolences, not to be inconsiderate, but niggas die every day. I got homies that died. So you saying a George Floyd joke does absolutely nothing. Trust me. I see it in our comment section. When they want to troll us, first thing they do is talking some George Floyd shit. And I just be looking at these motherfuckers like, y'all dumb as hell. The joke was trash. It wasn't funny. He was trying to be edgy. And I think a lot of them do get to display their racism out in the open and hide behind the guise of comedy. Yeah, they do. And we know who they ain't never gonna tell a joke about because they own the damn network that they're telling the jokes on. So until black people get some ownership, we just gonna be complaining our motherfucking life away. And I do low-key agree with Kev when he said, I don't gotta explain myself, because nigga, I don't. What the fuck I gotta explain myself to you for? Matter of fact, explaining yourself is one of the worst things that you can do. Because even if you're correct, you explaining yourself makes you look guilty in the eyes of the people you're explaining yourself to. So you got to study like Socrates, and you got to study like I give y'all some gems of who to study, but you should never really explain yourself, especially to an audience of people who watch you anyway. What the fuck I'm explaining for? Y'all gonna watch my shit anyway. And I don't owe you an explanation. That is your outrage, not mine. See, people want you to justify and cater to their emotions and their outrage. Nigga, that's your emotions. Those are that's your outrage. I'm not outraged by what you outraged by. And if I am, I'm not gonna act on it because he's in the position you're not. Now, if he get up there, go crazy on him, and lose sponsors, are you gonna put those millions of dollars back in his pocket? Are you going to replace those sponsors that he's going to lose? See, this one thing I learned doing this content shit and standing up for black people, even though I'm going to always do it, period. That's just in me. Pause. That is what it is. I'm a Gemini and I got Black Panther blood in my DNA. So that is what it is. But that is a uphill, almost losing battle. Because the ones you're doing it for really don't appreciate it. They ain't going to back you up. Police come smoke you. They're not going to do nothing. Maybe hold up some signs, go back home. You go to jail, they're not going to fund together like the racists do and bail you out. They're going to be like, damn, man, that nigga dumb as hell. They're going to start calling you dumb. That's a part of the game, bro. Malcolm X, he died broke. Martin Luther King, they died broke, and a lot of people was calling them dumb for what they did, even though they were standing up for them. That's why one of my favorite movies, and I always reference on this show, is They Live. The reason I got these glasses on right now. If you go watch the movie They Live, the dude who was trying to expose the truth to everybody and help free everybody, he was met with resistance, even by his own friend. He had to physically fight his own friend to force him to put the glasses on to see the truth. And that's what happens when you get out here and you fight for black people. I'm gonna speak for black people because I'm black. When you get out here and you fight for black people, either they're gonna call you dumb, they're gonna tell you a million ways about how it's not gonna work. They want to play the victim Olympics, and it's a thankless job. And they will actually go against you for trying to free them from the matrix, from the oppressors, from whatever you want to call we up against. They will fight you for trying to free them. When I speak out against the racist Hispanics, whenever they do some shit out here on the West Coast, do you know that these other West Coast podcasters will outcast us for standing up for niggas and will make excuses for the racists? So Kev, I'm pretty sure he knows and sees that and says, that's not a fight I want to fight. Because what's the end game if y'all are not going to back me up and help with this fight? So everybody's killing him for this take. I low-key...
Man, Kev, man, I was out at the comedy club, man.
There's a lot more clips I'm going to play. But as far as the point of him saying, why I got to explain myself, I mean, that's real shit. The people who fuck with you don't need an explanation. They fuck with you. And the people who don't rock with you, they'll never believe your explanation either anyways. They're just waiting for the explanation so they can find the holes in it, the faults in it, to pick it apart. So you explaining yourself is going to fall on deaf ears. They want you to explain, and then they're going to pick apart your explanation. You're better off just letting their imagination run wild, because whatever they think, you explaining is not going to change their mind. I'm pretty sure y'all all know this by now. Most people listen to respond, not listen to understand. And if they're outraged, they damn sure are not trying to understand. The only reason they want an explanation is because they want to humble you and they want to feel like they have power over you. Hey, you owe me an explanation. I'm offended by something that happened or by something you did or by something that you said. I feel you owe me to cater to my feelings. So they want to bring you down here. Nah, fuck you and your feelings. You'll get over it. I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. So they destroying Kev about that. But I will say, if it was me, I for sure gonna say something. I'm gonna pop a shot back. Oh, you can believe that. Trust me. It's yeah, that's where we going with it. Okay, it's up. But see, I'm different than Kev. And also, I'm not in Kev's position. So I don't know what he has on the line and what he has to lose behind going up for niggas. Because let's think historically. Who has prospered going up for niggas? That's why a lot of people who we want to go up and, man, yeah, let's fight the system, man. You got the power to do it. Are we even going to back them if they stand out there and lose everything fighting the fight for us? History says, fuck no. We're going to look, laugh, call them dumb. And when they back down here with us or back down with the common folk gonna be like, man, if I was in your position, I wouldn't have said a motherfucking thing. You dumb as hell. You had millions. You was worried about what the fuck our broadcaster was talking about. So it's really a no fucking. It's a no win, bro. It's never enough for people. Shout out Dave Chappelle. He knows how to get around that because he built his brand on that. So that's what's different. Kevin Hart built his brand differently than Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle built his brand on being edgy, pushing the boundaries, pushing the limits. Nobody's off limits. Oh, y'all said they off limits? They the first ones I'm gonna tell a joke about. So they gotta take that from Chappelle. Kev built his shit on being family friendly and nice and appealing to everybody. That goes against his brand. Niggas don't know Kevin was Patrice O'Neal understudy. He was made in dark comedy world. Man, listen, bro. We in a generation where people are too offended by everything. It don't matter what you do, somebody gonna be offended. Somebody probably offended I got a Long Beach hat on. Man, why you got a Long Beach hat on, not an LA hat? Long Beach is LA County. It's like they gonna find anything to be offended by. This is the generation where people just want to be offended. And if you go through life pleasing everybody, guess the one person you're not pleasing, your damn self. Because half the people want you to go left, half the people want you to go right. But you want to go straight. So you can spend all your time going left to appease the left, not a right mad, then you go right to appease the right, not a left mad. But your dumb ass really want to go straight, and you the one that's gonna be mad at the end of the day. So it's better to appease yourself and be at war with the world than to please the world and be at war with yourself. Fuck it. Everybody just be mad. That's why when I came in this shit, I let niggas know from day one, it's the villain, because they hate me for my opinion. Period. I know the hate gonna come. Niggas hated Jesus. I know I don't stand a chance. Niggas will hate Jesus if you believe in that story. Yahshua, whatever you want to call him. They hated that man, and all he wanted was world peace. They hated Bob Marley. All he wanted was world peace. The most people who get the most hate are the truth tellers and the ones who don't want any conflict. They're hated. The ones who stand on their own beliefs, their own morals, they're hated the most, period. That's why I already knew, nigga, the villain, because they hate me for my opinion. I don't give a fuck if you rock with it or you don't. If you rock with it, I rock with you. Viral gang, tip my hat. You don't, hey, it is what it is. Nigga, I got my own mind, period. Straight the fuck up. But always remember, never explain yourself. Because the person who rock with you, they rock with you, period. They really don't need one. The people who don't, they're not going to believe your explanation anyway. They already got it made up in their mind. You're wrong. You're lying. And your explanation is not changing that.